Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate how I tie my FG knot, which I think is a quicker way to tie and a simpler way to tie it, at the beginning at least. So first, you have to form a loop around your fingers. Last two fingers, I like to hold it over here in between. Go 1, 2, and then you form this shape, right? Using your index finger and your thumb, you're gonna make this triangle out. It's a leader. I'm gonna use this to brace it. So normally people do it this way, which I think is pretty slow. So this is how I do it. I use the leader to wrap around the main line. So now I have a 3, and I go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And it's done. So it's pretty fast if I do it this way. Then the rest of it is like a normal half hitch, like how you would do any FG knot. Lock it down with 3 half hitches, of course in alternate directions. Once you get to this point, since this is heavy line, I'm going to use my puller to assist me in pulling without hurting my hands. Grab it, and then you wet it. Little wet your leader, then your braid, and just pull. Pull it as hard as you can. It's P6 and 135-pound leader, so I'm not too worried about using all my strength. And that's what you want to get. Never failed me before. Okay. Once you got it all tightened down, well, to make it faster, I like to use both hands and both feet. Now we get this point. Remember, we had 3 half hitches, and now we go back to 4, and we continue. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once I reach to this point, what I would do, so I would cut my leader, leaving a little bit around, and then I'll light it. Let's melt it down to get a big mushroom. Notice that I don't go all the way. I have a little bit more space over here. So what I'm going to do, at this point, so I'm going to add 1 more half hitch at the very end. Make sure I'm keeping it within the knob, I should say. So now I'm at the end, and when I burn my line, I don't risk hurting the braid. Once I'm at this point, I just keep going, half hitches again, turn directions, another 12. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. At this point, just a normal root finish. Very simple way to do it. I like to go 7 loops. You can go at least a minimum of 5, I think. Then just spin it back across itself to hit this point. Hold the end. Slowly pull. Make sure that everything lines up nicely before totally tightening down. At this point, wet the line again and lock it down. Once you got it locked down, I'll cut off and leave a little bit of an end again. Take my lighter, just burn down the end, have a little knob to lock it down, and there you have it. This is how I tie my FG knot.